I was discharged from the hospital a day early. Returning home, I found my husband in our bed with his mistress. I left without a word, froze all our accounts, and changed the locks. But then something happened no one anticipated. Before we continue, tell me, from which country are you watching? Enjoy listening. Anna was released from the hospital a day ahead of schedule. The doctors, pleased with her swift recovery following surgery, sent her home with instructions to take care of herself and avoid stress. She decided not to call Sergei, opting for a surprise. She longed to return to their cozy apartment, to feel the familiar warmth of home, to feel safe in his embrace. Foolish woman. The taxi pulled up to the building entrance. Anna paid the driver, thanked him, and with some effort, carrying her bag, headed for the door. The key turned smoothly in the lock, and she stepped into the hallway. The apartment was silent, but it was a strange, unnatural quiet. Usually, Sergei worked from home at this hour, and she could hear the muffled sound of his voice from his study. She walked into the living room. Empty. Papers were strewn carelessly on the table, alongside a half-finished cup of coffee. Her stomach rumbled traitorously. She'd eaten very little in the hospital. Deciding to grab a snack, Anna headed for the kitchen. Her feet, however, led her further towards the bedroom. The door was ajar. What she saw was seared into her memory forever. Sergei, in their bed, with another woman. Anna's world froze. Time stood still. She stood as if paralyzed, unable to move, unable to look away. One thought pounded in her head. This can't be happening. This can't be happening. Sergei was saying something, laughing. Then he noticed her. His expression shifted rapidly, from lust and pleasure to shock and horror. He froze, like a deer caught in headlights. The woman beside him, seeing Anna, shrieked and tried to hide under the covers. Anna uttered not a single word. She didn't scream, didn't cry, didn't make a scene. Something inside her snapped. All her emotions dulled at once, leaving only an icy void. She turned silently and left the bedroom. She walked through the living room, the hallway, closing the door behind her with a click. Sergei didn't rush after her. He remained there, in their bed, with his mistress, completely stunned. He couldn't believe Anna had just left. He had expected hysterics, accusations, tears, but she had simply departed in silence. Anna stepped outside, breathing in the cool autumn air. It felt searingly fresh, as if washing away the dirt and betrayal. Her feet carried her somewhere, she didn't know where. She needed to get away, to flee as far as possible from this place, from this man. She pulled out her phone and dialed Marina's number. Marina wasn't just a friend. She was her closest confidant, her rock, and crucially, she was a top-tier lawyer. "Marina, it's me," Anna managed, her voice trembling. "Anya, how are you? How was the surgery?" Marina asked, her voice laced with concern. "I've been discharged," Anna replied. "I need to talk to you urgently." "What happened? Are you okay?" "No, Marina, I'm not okay. Can I come over?" Marina didn't ask further questions. She simply said, "Of course, come over. I'll be waiting." Anna hailed a taxi and gave Marina's address. She remained silent the entire ride, staring out the window, trying not to think. Tears choked her, but she refused to let them fall. She had to be strong for herself. Marina met her at the door, looking at her intently, then embraced her. "Come in," she said softly. "Tell me everything now." Anna entered Marina's apartment. It was cozy, bright, filled with books and flowers. It felt calm and safe. Marina seated her on the sofa and brought her tea. Anna remained silent for a long time, unable to force out a single word. "What happened, Anya?" Marina asked gently. "Speak. Don't be afraid. I'm here." Anna took a deep breath and began recounting her hospital stay, her unexpected return, and what she had witnessed in the bedroom. Marina listened without interruption. Sympathy and anger flickered in her eyes. When Anna finished, Marina held her tightly. "I know this hurts terribly right now," Marina said. "But you're strong. You'll get through this. We'll get through this together." Anna buried her face in Marina's shoulder, and wept. Tears streamed down her face, washing away the pain and hurt. She cried for a long time, sobbing uncontrollably, like a child. Marina gently stroked her back, letting her release her grief. When Anna had calmed somewhat, Marina asked, "What are you going to do?" Anna looked up, her eyes tear-filled. "I don't know," she whispered. "I just want this all to be over. It will be over," Marina said with certainty. "But you have to take action. You can't just sit and wait for him to destroy your life. But what can I do?" "Many things," Marina replied. "First and foremost, you need to protect yourself and your assets. The apartment is registered in your name." "Yes," Anna nodded. "The mortgage is almost paid off." "Good. Tomorrow morning I'll handle it. We'll block all his access to your accounts and change the locks on the apartment. You shouldn't feel unsafe there anymore." Anna looked at Marina with gratitude. "Thank you," she whispered. "I don't know what I'd do without you." "Don't be silly," Marina replied. "We're friends. We'll always be there for each other. Now get some sleep. You need to rest. Tomorrow is a new day." Anna went to the guest room, but sleep eluded her. Fragments of memories, images of betrayal, swirled in her mind. She tried to comprehend how Sergei could have done this to her, how he could have betrayed her love, their marriage, their future together. She recalled his words, his promises. It had all been lies, cynical, that calculated lies. But what tormented her most was the question, why? Why had he done it? She didn't have the answer, but she knew one thing: she would never let him use her again. Morning dawned with cold resolve. Anna woke in Marina's guest room, feeling as though she had survived not an illness, but a war. Yesterday's shock had sobered her, leaving behind an icy clarity. She was no longer a victim, she was a player, and she was now setting the rules of the game. First thing, even before breakfast, Anna dialed the bank. The operator's voice was as pleasantly routine as ever, but for Anna, this was the front line. "Hello? I would like to block all my cards and revoke online banking access for my husband, Sergei." Her voice was even, professional, as if discussing the terms of a complex deal. Not a hint of yesterday's pain, and not a shadow of doubt, just a clear, stated objective. The operator asked the standard identification questions, and Anna answered them mechanically, her mind already racing through her next steps. She knew Sergei would be furious when he discovered his access to funds was gone, but it was a necessary move. He would no longer be able to use her resources against her. Finishing with the bank, Anna took a deep breath. One item down. Now, the apartment. A symbol of stability that Sergei had so brazenly desecrated. He thought it was his fortress, his trump card in the future game. But he had miscalculated. The apartment was registered in Anna's name. Marina, observing her focused expression, offered coffee. "You need to fuel up, Anya. It's going to be a long day." Anna nodded gratefully, accepting the mug. "Thank you, Marina. You have no idea how much I need your support." After a quick breakfast of toast and strong coffee, Anna got down to business. She found a locksmith's number online. Explaining her situation, she arranged for him to come that same day during lunch hours. "I need this done quickly and discreetly," she stressed. "No unnecessary questions, just change the locks to the most secure ones." The locksmith promised to arrive within an hour of her call. Anna exhaled in relief. Time was not on her side. Sergei could return home at any moment, and she had to be prepared before he arrived. Gathering her courage, Anna asked Marina to drive her to the building. On the way, she remained silent, watching the streets blur past the window. The city went about its usual business, oblivious to the drama unfolding in one woman's soul. Arriving at the building, Anna stepped out of the car, her knees trembling. This was her home, her sanctuary, and she wouldn't let Sergei take it from her. Ascending to the correct floor, Anna retrieved a spare set of keys from her purse. Unlocking the door, she entered the apartment, trying to ignore her surroundings. The scene from yesterday still played in her mind, but she pushed the memories away, focusing on the task at hand. She quickly gathered Sergei's belongings: shirts, trousers, shoes, toiletries, anything that reminded her of his presence in her life. Roughly stuffing them into large duffel bags, she then took out his documents from the closet: passport, driver's license, insurance papers, everything he might need. She wasn't trying to hide anything. She simply wanted him gone. Forever. When the locksmith knocked, Anna had finished packing. She opened the door, letting him in. The locksmith, a sturdy man in his middle years, silently got to work. He quickly and professionally replaced the old locks with new, more modern and secure ones. When finished, he handed Anna a new set of keys. "All done, madam. You can rest easy now." Anna thanked him, paid him, and escorted him to the door. Closing the door, she felt a surge of strength. She had done it. She had cut Sergei off from her home, from her life. Now, all that remained was to move his things. With some effort, she hauled the heavy bags out of the apartment and left them by the entrance. Let him collect them. Let him know he was no longer welcome here. Stepping away from the apartment, Anna glanced back one last time. This was the end of one chapter in her life and the beginning of a new one. That evening, Sergei returned home, confident and composed. He was certain Anna had calmed down and was waiting with apologies. He was ready to forgive her outburst. He planned to explain it was merely a mistake, a momentary weakness. He retrieved his keys, inserted them into the lock, and turned, but they wouldn't budge. He tried again, applying more pressure, but to no avail. Sergei frowned. What the devil? He rang the doorbell. Silence. He rang again, more insistently. Still silence. He pulled out his phone and dialed Anna's number. The call connected, but no one answered. Suddenly he noticed the bags by the door. His bags, with his belongings. It began to dawn on him. Anna had changed the locks. She had moved out his things. She had erased him from her life. Rage washed over him. How dare she? He, Sergei, accustomed to being in control, had been made a fool of. His plan, so meticulously crafted and executed, was crumbling before his eyes. He began banging on the door, shouting Anna's name. "Open up, Anna! Open immediately! We need to talk!" But in response there was only silence. Neighbors began peeking from their apartments, observing the unfolding scene with curiosity. Sergei, usually so charming and polite, now resembled an enraged beast. He continued to bang and shout until he realized it was futile. Anna wouldn't open. She wouldn't listen to him. For the first time in a long time, Sergei felt fear. He had lost control of the situation. He had lost Anna, and possibly he had lost everything. He sank to his knees by the door, cradling his head in his hands. His carefully constructed world had collapsed in an instant, and the blame lay with the woman he had considered weak and predictable. In that moment, he understood he had lost, and lost to a woman who chose silence as her weapon. Through mutual acquaintances, Anna learned that Sergei had been consulting with a lawyer even before her surgery. This news, like a blow to the gut, made her freeze for a moment, but it was quickly replaced by icy calm. Sergei, it turned out, had been planning a divorce, not now, but after she had paid a significant portion of the mortgage on the apartment. His calculation was simple and cynical. Wait until her money was invested in their shared home, then based on the law, claim half. Marina, sitting opposite Anna in her office, listened intently to her account. Evening twilight filtered through the large windows, casting a soft, unsettling glow on both women's faces. "He lied to your face, Anya?" Marina asked, setting down her pen. Anna nodded. Her gaze was fixed on nothing. "He said he loved me, that everything was fine between us, while secretly consulting on how to fleece me. And he was probably singing the same tune to Lena about their impending divorce," Marina added, her voice filled with genuine sympathy. "Yes," Anna sighed. "Mutual friends overheard. He said the divorce with his wife was almost settled. Just formalities to wrap up." Marina shook her head. "How disgusting. You know, Anya, I always suspected something was off about him. Too smooth, too self-assured, but this much." Anna fell silent, replaying the last few years of their life together. It seemed like everyone else's life. Work, home, plans for the future. But now, with the veil of deceit lifted, She saw how meticulously Sergei had constructed his game. Every compliment, every show of affection, every promise, it was all part of his plan. He wanted to leave gracefully, with an advantage, Anna said, bitterness in her voice. He thought I'd cry, beg him to stay, and he would magnanimously agree to a property division in his favor. But you beat him to it? Marina smiled. Showed him who the real strategist is. Anna's lips curved upward slightly in a semblance of a smile. Yes, I beat him to it, and now he's furious. And rightly so, Marina said firmly. He deserves it. But don't relax yet. Now we need to make the divorce official and do it in a way he can't find fault with. I'm ready, Anna replied. I want this all to be over as soon as possible. Marina opened a file and pulled out several sheets. I've already prepared a preliminary draft of the divorce petition. Take a look. Is everything correct? It includes all your demands, dissolution of marriage, property division, alimony. Anna studied the documents carefully. Everything was clear, concise, and professional. Marina, as always, had anticipated every possible nuance. It's perfect, Anna said, returning the papers to Marina. Thank you so much. You're truly saving me. Don't mention it, Anya. You're my best friend, and I won't let that scoundrel hurt you. At that moment, there was a knock at the door. Come in, Marina said. Her assistant, a young woman with a stack of papers in her hands, appeared in the doorway. Marina Sergeyevna, I urgently need you to sign these documents for the Petrov case. All right, I'll look them over now, Marina replied. And you, Anya, you can relax for a bit. Have some tea. I'll be done soon. Anna stood and walked over to a small table where a kettle and several cups were set out. She poured herself some tea and sat in an armchair by the window. Thoughts of Sergei, his betrayal, how he had deceived her, churned in her mind. But now, knowing the truth, she felt not only pain, but also anger. Anger at herself for being so naive, for trusting him so blindly. But this anger fueled her strength. She was no longer going to be a victim. She was going to fight for her life, for her future. And she would win this fight. Marina finished with the documents and returned to Anna. So, Anya, she said, sitting opposite her, what's our next move? Divorce, Anna replied firmly. And I want it to be as swift and painless as possible. That's possible, Marina nodded. If Sergei doesn't put up a fight, but knowing his character, he'll likely try to bargain for something. Let him try, Anna smirked. He won't succeed. That's the right attitude, Marina said. Then I'll start preparing all the necessary documents. We'll file the suit in court tomorrow. Good, Anna replied. I trust you completely. Marina smiled. I won't let you down. They continued to discuss the details of the divorce, possible scenarios, and courses of action. Anna felt more confident, knowing she had such a reliable friend and professional by her side. The next day, Marina filed the divorce petition in court. Sergei, upon receiving the summons, flew into a rage. He called Anna, but she didn't answer. He texted her, begging for a meeting, but she ignored him. Sergei tried to play the role of the repentant husband, thus bombarding Anna with messages filled with feigned regret and pleas for a meeting. He begged her to give him a chance to discuss everything, to return to a conversation, writing about how miserable he was without her, how he had made a mistake, and that Lena, the mistress's name he now uttered with evident disgust, was merely a momentary weakness of no consequence. Anna read his messages with cold composure, feeling neither schadenfreude nor pity. She saw them simply as another attempt at manipulation, another carefully constructed scheme aimed at regaining control of the situation. Her silence was the most terrifying punishment for Sergei. He was accustomed to her predictability, her willingness to compromise to save their marriage. He expected hysterics, tears, accusations, all the things he knew how to handle and how to turn to his advantage. But Anna remained silent, and this silence spoke louder than any words. Marina, seeing Anna's state, tried to support her in every way. She shielded Anna from the persistent calls of mutual acquaintances who, upon learning what had happened, vied to express their sympathy and pry for details. Marina handled all the divorce formalities, sparing Anna the need for direct contact with Sergei or his lawyers. "Don't waste your energy on him," Marina would say. "Let him stew in his own juices. You need to focus on yourself, on your future." And Anna listened. She felt a growing strength within her, slowly but surely. The pain of betrayal gradually gave way to an awareness of her own worth, an understanding that she deserved better. Soon, Sergei realized that his pleas and threats were having no effect. Anna remained unwavering. He then tried to change tactics, began playing on pity, talking about his work problems, financial difficulties caused by his foolish actions. He complained that Lena, upon learning of his divorce and the loss of the apartment, had left him, leaving him completely alone. But even this didn't move Anna. She saw his suffering as nothing more than just retribution for his lies and hypocrisy. He had dug this hole for himself, and now he had to climb out without her help. Lena had indeed left him. She turned out to be not as loving and devoted as he had imagined. Upon learning of his financial troubles and the prospect of legal battles, she chose to find a more advantageous match. Sergei was left alone with his problems. Anna, meanwhile, had completed all the divorce formalities. The apartment, as expected, remained entirely in her possession. She made the decision to sell it. Too much pain and negative memories were associated with this place. She wanted to start life anew, in a new location, with new people. She informed Marina of her decision. "Are you sure?" Marina asked. "It's your home. You spent so long furnishing it, making it cozy." "That's precisely why I want to get rid of it," Anna replied. "It's no longer my home. It's become a symbol of betrayal and lies. I need something new, something that belongs only to me and doesn't remind me of the past." Marina understood. She knew Anna needed to move forward to heal her wounds and find inner peace. The apartment sale went quickly and smoothly. Anna received a substantial sum, enabling her to start a new life. Sometime later, a new man entered her life. His name was Andrei. He was kind, sincere, and attentive. He didn't try to control or manipulate her. He simply loved her for who she was. Anna hesitated to open up to him for a long time, fearing a repeat of past mistakes, but Andrei was patient and persistent. He managed to win her trust and show her that not all men were the same. She told him about her past, about Sergei's betrayal, and the pain she had endured. Andrei listened with understanding and empathy. He didn't judge her or try to console her. He was simply there, supporting her and making her feel safe. It wasn't long before Anna realized her heart belonged to Andrei. She felt a sense of peace and assurance in his presence, a certainty that she could rely on him, that he would never let her down. 1 year after their initial meeting, they exchanged vows. Their wedding was an understated affair, a quiet celebration shared with their most cherished friends and family. Anna was filled with profound joy. She had discovered her true happiness, and despite the hardships and trials she had endured, she understood that betrayal wasn't a crushing blow, but rather an opening to reconstruct her existence. It presented an opportunity to shed whatever weighed her down and hindered her progress. It was a chance to rediscover herself, to embrace liberation, and to embark on a fresh chapter. Anna no longer dwelled on Sergei. He faded into a distant, unpleasant memory, a lesson that taught her self-worth and the importance of preventing exploitation. She came to grasp that silence could be the most potent defense against treachery and deceit. It allowed her to maintain her integrity, conserving her energy from futile arguments and accusations. It provided the space to focus on herself and her future, to forge a new life brimming with affection, contentment, and balance. Met.